Hi everyone. I'm not entirely sure why I feel like I've been called to do a special twin flame soulmate reading. I've been actually thinking about it all morning, and I was doing some personal readings, and I just know that the energies that have been happening this week are really, really heavy. And there are a lot of twin flames, soulmates, divine partners, whatever resonates with you, whatever you want to call it. They have cut contact with each other, and they have a lot of them have decided, whether it's the masculine or feminine side, a lot of them have decided to no longer be on this journey, or they've actually felt that and said it, that they don't want to be on the journey anymore. So I kind of wanted to look into the energies because I know a lot of people are in the healing process of that. And I'm not a person or a reader to say, just quit the journey. Like, don't do the journey anymore. However, because oftentimes when we stop the twin flame journey, or we stop striving towards that goal of being in union, there is a tendency to fall back into old ways and old patterns that really don't serve you. Like being around the wrong people, or, if you had an addiction before, like going back to an addiction that you previously had healed because things were coming up in your twin flame journey. I just feel like there's this thing where some people will fall back into old ways if they stop going on their twin flame journey, maybe dating the wrong people, or having the wrong energies surrounding you, no matter what form that energy takes. Pick a mineral, So I think what I really want to do is talk about just collectively in the twin flame community. How are we healing right now? What are we doing? And maybe we can even call it the light worker community. What are we doing to heal ourselves along with the world and the energies that are surrounding us? Because when we put a low vibration out there, and by low vibration, I mean we depend on something else to make us feel good inside. Whether that's a person, whether that's alcohol, whether that's, any kind of addiction, shopping, or what have you, eating. When we put that kind of a low vibration out there, it's very easy to get sucked into a pattern of not feeling good enough, or not being good enough, and needing to have something to satisfy us. Like for those who have decided that they're no longer going to be on this journey, if you do that and then you just jump back into like the old dating patterns or the old ego where, I'm going to do what I want to do, and that, that's all there is to it. There's a part of you that has broken down so much inside that it needs to be healed now. And part of the readings, the personal readings that I do for twin flames, I'll look at like the general situation. If you've had a personal reading for me for your divine partner, twin flame, soulmate reading, you know that, we look at the general situation, we look at your soulmate or who you think your soulmate is, their energy and how they feel towards you, and then we look at the healing aspect of it. And that's really what my job is for you guys, is to look into how are we healing? How are we healing ourselves through this journey? How are we not just giving everything of ourselves, and then once we're not getting anything back, we walk away from it and then become destructive again and lose all of that healing that we just did. So I think that's probably why the pull I had today to do this. You'll have to forgive my appearance. I haven't done anything with myself. I just wanted to get the video out there for you. If you guys are waiting on a personal reading, I am still getting them out. I'm knocking them out as fast as I can. Had some family stuff go on this morning, so I had to take care of that. But things are going, you know, I'm not 100% caught up yet, but also I do want to let everybody know that the personal readings for the Twin Flame personal readings are on sale for the rest of April. If you would like to go to my website, fearlessintuition.net, and get a personal reading, you can choose an option to have it, to pay, I think it's like $30 extra, to have it be an emergency reading if you feel that need, or the readings are being scheduled 2 to 2.5 weeks out, which isn't a really long time to wait, especially since I'm a couple of days backed up. But let's get into this, and let's just see collectively as a light worker community. Doesn't matter what sign you are. Doesn't matter if you're divine feminine or divine masculine. We're just going to look at the Twin Flame light worker community and kind of see what it is that we're kind of like knocking up against right now. What are the energies that really need to be healed within us all right now? Because it has been very, very harsh. And I will be totally honest with you guys. It's been very harsh with me, and I'm learning some very humbling lessons right now about myself, about my business, about the world in general, and about how I react to certain situations that come up, right? But I do feel like there's kind of a fear of not being good enough, or it's like I feel like there's this need, and this first card that came out, first oracle card that came out, really like drives this point home big time. I'll show you it in 1 second, but I feel like there's this need to want validation, to want to be loved in some way, to want to be felt like you are needed, wanted, accepted in some way. And truly, I tell everybody when I do the personal readings that one of the biggest lessons that we have to learn while we are on this journey, while we are light workers or twin flames, is self-mastery. And that's one of the hardest relationships you are ever going to have, is the relationship you have with yourself. And whether you've been chosen or you chose to go on this twin flame journey, if you have met up with a false twin and they were your catalyst and they are pushing you forward now, a lot of people are going through the dark night of the soul. A lot of people are, wow, let's just like drive this point home hard, hard, hard. So I want you guys to know that, why is everything so fuzzy? Oh, Mercury. Mercury and your retrogradeness. The mastering of self, the mastering of loving who you truly are, and knowing that you have a divine purpose, that you wrote a soul contract to bring you on this journey here, to be a light worker. You volunteered to bring humanity back into love, into unconditional love. Because really, what's the point if there isn't love? I mean, I know that sounds very cliche and very simple, but really, what's the point if there isn't love, right? So the first card, I will not keep you in suspense anymore, right? The first card is Love Abounds. And this is the Ace of Cups in the traditional tarot. And instantly, it's time to fill your cup up. It's silly when I say cup up, but it is. It is time to work on yourself. It is time to emotionally fulfill yourself. And to do that without feeling like you need to be validated. And how do we emotionally fill ourselves up when we feel like we have nothing left? But that's the thing, is you always have something left. You are the divine. You are source. You were put here as a part of that energy and of that love, and sometimes we have to confront that. You know, I mean, that's kind of a big job, big title to hold. You know, we are one with all. We are one with Source. We are one with each other. And when we are vibrating at a very low level, and we can't emotionally fulfill ourselves, that's when you feel like you need to get validation, and that's when you have to turn inwards. And I feel like with Share the Love, which is the Three of Cups in the traditional tarot, is saying, find your spiritual tribe. I was talking with my mom this morning. She's a Sagittarius, so she's always been very spiritual, very esoteric. She grew up in a very religious family, but didn't pass that on to me. I actually always searched for something higher than me. And she just kind of let me. She let me do that. And that's why I feel like, I have my son's blanking on me. That's why I feel like, I've always felt like it's okay to really stand up for myself and be who I truly am, because my mom always was very good at that. And I was talking with her this morning, and I was telling her about, once I started my spiritual journey, I felt very alone. And I had my twin flame there. He's been my best friend. And unfortunately, we're not really talking right now. And that's been very tough. But I told her, through this journey that I've had, and through all of this very large opening of my soul tribe, my soul family, I have met people who started off as clients who are some of my very best friends now. And so I do feel like, instead of getting validation in ways, going back into old ways and getting validation by needing to be accepted by somebody, be around the people that already accept you for who you are. And be around the people that you don't have to prove yourself to. And talk to the people that will drop an entire conversation to call you and chat about your day, or chat about your troubles, or, go to the people that text you every morning to see how you're doing. And if you're not doing that, then I feel like Spirit's really urging you to say, this is a time for you to go to your soul tribe, because they will help you emotionally heal. And then we have heal. And I believe this is the Hanged Man. I could be totally wrong in the traditional tarot. I'll have to look on that. I knew it at one point. It's so funny with these cards. I love the pictures. I love what it represents so much that I often forget what they actually are in the traditional tarot. But this is if you look at this, the chains on this man. And this is what I mean by a spiritual awakening. I feel like a lot of us, or a lot of you, and we're constantly ascending. So we will go through that dark night of the soul, and then we will rise above. And then we will go through the dark night of the soul again, and then we will rise above. And I do feel like a lot of us, we're breaking the chains of the existence that we have lived in for so long, just to be free, to feel like we're free, because we've caged ourselves in. And I feel like a lot of us think that the twin flame journey and experience is what's caged us in. And I want you to know that is, if you have been in contact with a false twin, because false twins are 99% energetically aligned with us. And that 1% makes a huge difference in the alignment and how you feel towards your twin. That 1% is where your twin mirrors all of the good parts of you and not just the bad parts. That 1% is when your true twin is aligning with you and raising your vibration. That person will look at all of the faults or all of the things or all of the downfalls that you have in your life, and they'll say, yes, but to me, you're perfect. Yeah, I know you're not truly perfect. We are all imperfect, but to me, you are perfect. So, if you have encountered a false twin, you will feel very energetically drained. Anxiety will hit you constantly. Your false twin will treat you like either you don't even matter, or they will be abusive to you physically, mentally, emotionally, you name it. That's how abusive they are. When your false twin comes into your life, it will feel like it will be so hard to let go, because you're going to be like, yeah, but I feel so energetically connected to this person. If it's a false twin, you can disconnect, and you will be able to. There's a lot of confusion around what a true twin flame is, what a false twin flame is. And I will do like an entire thing on twin flames and soulmates and stuff. I've already talked about that, but because of everything that's already been happening in my life and being sick and stuff, I think that might have to be towards the end of April, but I will start doing that. But I do feel like a lot of us have either encountered false twins, or if we have broken away from our twin flames, we are now in that healing process. And I want you to come back to, like, remember who you are. And when I say remember who you are, I don't mean like remember yourself as a child. Or remember yourself as a teenager, or remember your very beginnings, you know. I want you to close your eyes and meditate and listen to your heart, and listen to what your heart is saying to you, because that's how you remember who you truly are. When it's not your ego talking, when it's not, I need validation for this, or I don't feel good because of this, or it's this or this. When you are truly aligned and listening to your higher self and believing who you are, you will feel it here. And it will be open. And I was actually talking to my good friend who is going through a spiritual awakening process right now. And every time she meditates, she gets this very hard pressure in her chest. And she gets kind of like short of breath. And that is her heart chakra, like really needing to be unblocked. And you know, breathe through that. It's so uncomfortable. It is not a comfortable feeling, but that's because this is years and years and years of being trained in one way to feel, to think, to act in one way. And now your true higher self is saying, your soul is ready. Your soul is ready to ascend. And she's been going through an ascension process for quite some time. But now it's like in your face. Going forward, pushing forward. So let's get some clarifications. I don't want this video to be like so incredibly long. You guys will probably kick me in the butt. Like, come on, Betsy, just go. So talking about like just, you know, from starting this video, talking about how we really do not want to go back to our destructive patterns. How we as light workers really need to start to learn how to feel abundant within ourselves without needing validation or needing an addiction or needing a substance or needing anything else but ourselves, but also asking our soul tribe for help. The Emperor. All right, Mars. Mars under attack, you know, like that movie. I don't know if anybody's ever seen that movie, Mars Under Attack. I don't really remember a lot of it, but I do want to say that this is a very prideful feeling to me. And I feel like a lot of us really want to be in charge. We haven't felt in charge for a very long time. And we want to be in charge. And this is kind of clarifying that card, the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is very in charge. And this could be male or female. If you're a male watching, this could be male or female. This could represent the divine feminine within you coming out and saying, no, I am in charge now. I am no longer going to be taken advantage of. I am, you know, on my throne. I am focused. I am determined. I am going out into the world and I'm going to do it for myself because I deserve the best. And I do feel like that's where a lot of us are right now. I don't need somebody blah, 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 right? Well, let's make sure that it's our self that is talking and not our ego. That we are not being prideful about that. It's funny, I said not our ego, and the devil is at the bottom of the deck. So I'm not going to pull that right now, but, and then we have the moon. So again, really confronting yourself and looking at, am I walking on my highest path? Am I walking on my highest purpose? Or am I going back and slipping back into old destructive patterns to make me feel better about the situation I'm in right now? And I want to tell you that those old destructive patterns, yes, they will make you feel better for a small time. You know, that text message from that guy, or that, you know, going out and getting wasted or whatever because you can. Whatever that is, you know, instead of really getting in touch with who you truly need to be to heal, if you're going back into the old destructive ways because you need to have validation, that's really time. The moon is saying, you know, and also, this is also really representing, it's manifestation time, guys. This is the moon, the new moon in Aries. If we really want to look at it, you know, in a much deeper way, deeper context, the Emperor represents Aries. The new moon in Aries is on April 15th, which is on Sunday. And in Aries, we have great manifestation power for a new moon in Aries. And so this really is a time to kind of reinvent yourself. Saturn also goes retrograde on the 17th of April. Lots of karmic patterns coming back up. So if you do start to slip back into destructive patterns and destructive ways, and you start to notice that things in your life are shifting and not really going very well, could be that there is a karmic lesson within that. There was a card that flipped over in here. So the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups to me is quiet contemplation. In other tarot decks, it's more like, you know, an offering from the universe of love, but you're ignoring it because you're kind of apathetic towards the whole idea. This guy is sitting with his emotions. And he is... I don't know. He's in a very meditative state. I really want to say that it's kind of time to retreat within yourself. Again, really like looking at the self. Really looking at the self. A lot. So, Three of Wands. And I do feel like that it's really, you want to break free. Three of Wands. You want to break free. Five of Pentacles and the Ten of Swords. And it's because you are tired of being put out. You're tired of being put out. But the Ten of Swords is in your thoughts. It's not going to be totally devastating. And I think that's where the Love Abounds comes up. We have the Fool at the bottom of the deck, and the Ten of Cups, and the Queen of Cups, and the Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords. I don't, kind of like popped that up really fast. So, the Fool, the Ten of Cups, the Queen of Cups, and the Ace of Swords. So instead of, I kind of feel like this is, yes, you can break free. You can meditate and break free and find yourself again because you don't want to be put out. But instead of thinking everything's going to be totally devastating, let's just take a journey. Let's go on a little journey of self. And find that happiness within us, within our soul tribe. Again, if you look at those people, it's kind of like it's your family. This is the family card. But family's not often defined by blood. And, you know, the longer we are on this journey in life, as human beings, we all know, right? And then, yes, it is okay to be the Queen of Wands, but don't get stuck there. Listen to your intuition. Be the Queen of Cups as well. Very interesting that two different queens came out here. And again, this could be, you could be male also. If you're watching this, these can represent men as well, because we all have the divine feminine and divine masculine within us. And this could be that the men out there really need to get in touch with their divine feminine, their emotions, their nurturing, their 5D, really meditating and really listening to the heart space. Instead of being up in the mind space, listen to the heart space. Instead of being logical and analytical and doing it in a sexual way, do it in a very emotional, vulnerable way. Right? And cut out the bullshit. The 10 of Swords, the Ace of Swords. Because after the 10 of Swords, when you feel like everything is totally devastating and it's just all is lost, you get the Ace of Swords. Because now, manifestation and these really wonderful ideas can come to you. And I do feel like there will be a lot of healing happening this week for the collective, Twin Flame Collective. Again, this was not a reading for the Divine Masculine or the Divine Feminine specifically. It was just for the collective because I feel like we all need a little bit of healing. And I feel like there are several people out there that, me included, I got a lot out of this reading as well, of really nurturing yourself and not falling back into old patterns and knowing that your healing progress is still happening, you know. And the Page of Pentacles, humble yourself, because 9 of Pentacles, ooh, there's the Divine Masculine, the King of Pentacles, and the 9 of Wands. So if the Divine Masculine is a little bit trapped right now, feeling a little bit trapped right now, could be that he's really focused on work. Could be that he's just really focused on not being in a battle anymore. So again, this really comes down to it, really humbling yourself, really looking within and finding what aspects spiritually you need to heal, right? Love abounds. Okay, guys. Justice is at the bottom of the deck, by the way. Lots of karma happening. Lots of karma. Okay, I love you all. If you would like to have a personal reading, check out the InstantGo app. The link is below. Also, my website, fearlessintuition.net, and all of the relationship, soulmate, twin flame readings are on special for the remainder of April. If you get the emergency option, it is booked within, the link is sent to you within 24 to 72 hours after ordering. After I receive the information from you. It's a step process. I email you and ask for information. You send the information to me. Anyway, 24 to 72 hours. And if you get the regular reading, it is booked out 2.5 weeks. So, which isn't really a long time to wait. And you got to remember, time isn't linear. There's a lot of things that could happen, and divine timing really does play a big, big role in a twin flame reading. So I love you guys. Oh, and thank you for the donations that have come in. I truly appreciate it. I wouldn't be able to keep doing this channel if you guys didn't send the donations in. So I did actually. It's really funny because I was just thinking about that the other day, that, you know, I totally appreciate all of the donations that come in. And then I got a couple of donations that were $1, and they just made me smile so big, because I don't care. I mean, you guys are wonderful. $1 is fantastic. You guys are fantastic. So that link is also below. So I love you all, and I will see you very soon. Bye.